Hello and welcome everyone. It is Saturday, September 1st, 2018, and it is time for Jim Comics Top Picks for New Comic Book Day this upcoming Wednesday, September 5th, 2018. Where is the year going, man? Is the time flying by? We're already in September. As usual, I'll run through the books I'm looking at, my top covers and my top picks. I've also got a few spec books for you again. And I'm also I brought my old, I found my old price guide from 1980-81. It was one of the first price guides I bought. I've been borrowing my friends for the years prior to that, but I'll run through a few of the key books today and tell you how cheap they were back then. And damn it, I wish I'd bought more of them, because boy, were they, compared to what they are now, they were dirt cheap. But anyways, we'll get into that later. I want to make sure I thank all my subscribers. Really appreciate everybody who takes the time to watch my videos, send me comments. I love being part of the community. And I have some of the best subscribers out there. You guys are awesome, sending me tips, and you know, I make the odd screw up here and there, and you're pretty polite about correcting me. So, hey, you know what? I'm old, and I got a lot of comics running through my brain, so I make the odd mistake. But anyways, you guys are awesome. Really appreciate it. And as usual, I want to do another shout out this week to another comic shop. This one is from one of my subscribers, William Werner. He requested I talk about his shop, which is Liberty Comics in Roseville, Michigan. Gale is the owner, and he's a U.S. Air Force veteran. So I got to give a shout out to Liberty Comics. A few images on the screen. I got the outside of this shop, as well as some images from inside. Man, it looks like a nice shop too. Like I say, I got to do it. I think I got to go rent a motorhome and drive across the U.S. and Canada to stop at comic shops. Would that be a cool trip? I don't know if I'd have enough room in the motorhome by the time I got back, but anyways, so thank you, William, thank you for your service. First off, that's awesome. Anybody that's been downrange knows what I mean. When you put that uniform on, you're putting your life on the line. So I don't care what branch you're in. So anyways, if you're in the area, stop in and say hi to Gale. He's got a great shop. Contact info is down in the comments. So Liberty Comics. All right, let's get going. Oh, actually, so a couple things I kind of goofed in my last video. I was talking about Joker, Daffy Duck in the center of the screen there. And I was talking about Looney Tunes, and I mentioned that the Batman Elmer Fudd is what I was trying to say, and I said Batman Porky Pig because I had Porky Pig and Lex Luthor on the brain. So anyways, this is the one I was trying to say. Batman Elmer Fudd is a great comic, and Weeks is the artist in this, and man, it was a great story, and it was... the artwork was good, and this was when Tom King was actually putting an effort into writing what he was writing, and it was really good. That one, if you can find that one first print, highly recommend you get it. It went to second. I think it went to a third. I know it went to a second print. I can't remember if it went to a third. And the other one I got to mention, I was talking about the Absorbing Man, Carl Creel, when I was talking about Immortal Hulk. And I got to say, I don't honestly remember ever reading a story with... I've read a ton of comics, and I can't remember... I don't know if he just didn't leave an impression on me or what, but I don't even know if I have a comic with him in it. So a lot of people mentioned that it was Journey into Mystery number 114 from 1965 was his first appearance. So, man, he's definitely been around for a while. But I don't know. I got to look through my books. I must have one somewhere with something in them. But anyways, just want to mention that too, because I kind of shit the bed on that one. All right, so... Start out with my independents, looking at Relay number 3 from Aftershock. Only the one cover. I'm liking the story. Donny Cates is involved. And like I say, a lot of these independents, especially Aftershock, they're putting some good stuff out, good quality stuff out. So that's one I'm definitely getting this week. From Dark Horse, looking at Predator Hunters 2, number 2. Looks like there's only the one cover. And I'm looking for the Hellhounds, the Predator dogs. They're going to be in the new Predator movie, and I'm hoping they're going to show up in the comics, because that would be sweet. And they're a new version. There was one of the other Predator movies, I can't remember which one. There was some of the Hellhounds, but they were pretty weird looking. The ones in this one look really cool, so I'm really hoping they show up in the comic. And one other one from Dark Horse is Warbears number 1. The only reason I'm looking at this, it was written by Margaret Atwood, who's Canadian, by the way, and that's not the reason I'm buying it, but she was the author of The Handmaid's Tale, which is an absolute classic. And I don't know if you watched that on HBO, but it's, I think it was HBO anyways, but it was really good, so I'm hoping that's good anyways, so I'm looking at that one. From Dynamite, James Bond Origin number 1. I'm only showing cover A. There is an absolute ton of covers. I think there's 12 covers, 13 covers for this thing. So, I mean, take your pick of what you want, but I'm going to buy just the one. take a read, see how it is. I mean, there's been a ton of James Bond stuff over the years, but being that it's his origin, it's kind of cool because it looks like it's during World War II and stuff, so I'm looking at that one. From Image, Bully Wars from Scotty Young. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna pick that one up. It's cover A and B, and there's a couple... there's one cover that's censored for whatever, because the guy's farting on the guy and leaves him in a cloud of gas. And then the uncensored one is you see him in the cloud of gas and it coming out of his ass. So, I mean, I don't know. It's not like you can't figure out what's happening in the censored one, but whatever. Anyway, so there's a bunch of covers for that. Looking at that one for sure. Leviathan number 2. I like the first one, so I'm going to pick up number 2. There's 3 covers for that one. There's cover A, cover B, and cover C. Obviously, 3 covers. So I'm going to try and get that one. I'll probably only get A or B for that one. I'm not too worried about getting all the covers. But for another one from Image, Spawn 289. As you all know, Francesco Mattina has been doing these awesome covers. It looks like he's doing the A cover on this one. And cover B is, oh damn it, I forget the guy's name. Jason Aaron, I think it is. I can't remember, but I'll probably just pick up the A. Francesco Mattina. Walking Dead 183 is out again. Cover A and B, and cover B is one of those covers like they've been doing for a while. From Titan Comics, this is one I highly recommend. Is Elric the White Wolf, and I'm going to talk about this a bit more at the end of my video, so we'll stay tuned for that because I got some really cool stuff to talk about with this one. There's cover A. There's a really, really nice cover B. That's an awesome looking cover. Kind of reminds me of the old Frank Frazetta paintings and stuff. It looks really good. And then there's a cover C. It's kind of a designer cover. I think that one's sold out of Midtown. So that's it for my independents. From DC, I got cover number 1. Kind of sounds interesting. Sounds like the comic book creators are spies in this story. So it's kind of cool sound of story. I'll see how it goes. But 3 covers for that. Cover A, cover B, and cover C. Deathstroke 35. 2 covers. Your regular cover A. And again, another Mattina cover B on that one. And that, again, those are, man, he does some nice work. That's a really gorgeous cover. Another one of these Sandman stories is out, Dreaming number 1. I like cover A on this one. It's probably the only one I'm going to get. That one I don't mind. Cover B and cover C, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get that. I'm just going to pick up the 1. I didn't mind the first one, but I wasn't a huge fan of Sandman back in the day when it first came out, and I don't know. The stories are kind of long and anyways, kind of winding. Harley Quinn 49. I'm only looking at cover B on that one. That's a gorgeous Cho variant. It's got the Harley Quinn dressed up like the Angel of Death. Man, does that look... God, I like that cover. The original one I saw was in black and white, but I think there's just a color version of it, so I kind of like the black and white one, actually. Justice League number 7, cover A, cover B, and cover C is your 1 for 100 sketch variant, which, again, my shop doesn't get those in, so I don't get those, but really liking Justice League, and it's, you know, down the road, these things that are popping up are going to pay off, so... Nightwing 48, and the only reason I'm recommending this one, well, I'm going to look at it. I don't know that I'm actually going to buy it, but you had Vire show up in the annual, and it's potential that one of the other lieutenants of the Dark Web, there's 2 more to show up, may show up in this one, so take a flip through it at your comic shop if you can. There's 2 covers, cover A and cover B for that one. So that one's a possible, like I say, another one of those lieutenants showing up. U.S. vs. Murder Inc. number 1. That looks interesting, so I'm going to pick up probably A and B for that one. 3 covers, A, B, and C for that. I think C is, if I remember right, is a blank variant. I don't have the image in front of me. And Green Arrow number 44, continuation of that Citizen storyline. So you've got cover A and cover B. I like that cover A. It's kind of a nice looking cover too. So anyways, that's it for DC. For Marvel, as Guardians of the Galaxy number 1, there's 4 covers for that. Again, I don't know how many of these I'm going to buy, and I can't recommend every single cover for every comic. I mean, you kind of got to pick and choose which ones you like. But try to get cover A. For whatever reason, cover A's throughout time have always been, you know, if they're going to go up, it seems to be cover A is the good one to get. And then pick whatever variant you want if you want to get more multiples. Avengers number 7. This is one I highly recommend this week. It's the origin of the original Ghost Rider from 1,000,000 BC, or yeah, I guess it's BC. And you got 4 covers for that. Cover A is your regular cover, which is a really nice cover. Cover B. Cover C is a really nice crane cover. You can get that one. Try to pick that one up. I think it's a limited variant though, so you may have to pay for a bit for that one. And cover D as well. Cosmic Ghost Rider number 3. Another good one to get. It's 3 covers for that. Cover A, B, and C. And that's going to be the first full appearance of Juggerduck and that future Guardians of the Galaxy team. So that's definitely a good one to get. I don't know if you noticed, Donny Cates' issue number 3 for whatever run he's doing seems to be the key book to get. Whether it's Venom, 3rd issue, Null shows up. This one where you got Juggerduck and the whole future Guardians of the Galaxy team. Even Thanos. I know Ghost Rider showed up in the first one, but it was the 3rd issue where you found the big reveal where you found out who it was. So it seems like issue 3 is a big one for him. And talking about that, Death of Inhumans number 3 is out this week, so I'm going to recommend you pick that one up because you never know what's going to show up in number 3. I don't know, it could be just shit luck, but anyways, if you look at a story arc though, a lot of times it's 5 issues, and your middle issue is kind of when all the key stuff happens, and then it starts winding down towards the end. So 2 covers for that, A and B. Immortal Hulk number 5, I'm really liking this series. And it looks like the Hulk and Sasquatch get into it in this one. And we're 1 issue closer to that green door. So we may get a hint at the end of this one who's peeking through. Highly recommend you pick it up. And it's a good series too. I really like it. I've had a couple people say they don't like it, but I don't know. I think it's really good. Thanos Legacy number 1. I can't stress enough that you pick this one up. Kate said a long time ago, I mentioned a couple times to pick this one up, that there's a big reveal in this. There's a ton of covers. There's a ton of aftermarket covers for this. I'm going to put a bunch. There's A and B are your regular price variants. And I'll be honest, I've looked at a few different sites, and they're kind of all over the place as far as what they're listing as C, D, E, F. There's like a whole bunch, so I'm just going to put a bunch of images on there. Some are limited and some aren't. So pick which ones you want. To be honest, some of the, there's a, I think it's cover C. I think it's a Perez cover. There's a trade and then a Virgin. I mean, it's a terrible drawing. Geez, I could draw better than that. So anyways, buy the ones you like. Don't buy them just because they're limited. And last one from DC is Venom First Host number 2, cover A and cover B. And one of my subscribers, Justice for Comics, he sent me an image of cover 5. Man, does it look cool. I'll have to show that in my next video. I don't have it on today, but it looks really good. So that is it for my picks. For my covers, I got one Solar Flare Season 3 number 1. I'm not buying this comic, but I really like the cover. It's cover B. It's a black cover. I mean, I love black covers, but it's got the sun and the flaring off on it. This looks so cool. Elric the White Wolf number 1, cover B. That's a really good one, and I highly recommend you get that comic. You'll know why in a minute. But anyways, Deathstroke number 35, that Matina cover, cover B. Harley Quinn number 49, cover B, the Cho variant. Really nice. I love that Angel of Death picture on there. Spawn 289, cover A, Matina. And Avengers number 7. You got 2. You got the regular price cover A, as well as that Clayton Crane cover C, which is really, really nice. That, of all of them, I think that's the best one. That would be my, well, that and the Elric the White Wolf would be my 2 actual pick of the covers this week. They're gorgeous. So my picks this week, one you need to get for sure is Thanos Legacy number 1. Big reveal in that, which is going to tie in a lot of other stuff, so definitely pick that one up. Avengers number 7, Ghost Rider Origin, that is going to be a good one as well. Cosmic Ghost Rider number 3. First full Juggerduck and that whole future Guardians of the Galaxy team, so that's definitely get that one. Elric the White Wolf number 1, and an honorable mention is Nightwing 48 because there's a possible that Dark Web Lieutenant's going to show up in that, so take a look through that one before you pick it up. But those are some definite good books to get this week. Gorgeous covers. Last week there was only like 2 covers I really liked, but this week, man, there's a ton of them. So I'm going to run through a few. I only got a couple specs for you this week. Now, I know I'm going to talk about Spawn real quick. So I know this Spawn book 249 has been thrown around, and people are saying, you know, grab that book because it's a low print and prices have shot way up, and that's great. But what you really want to do is you want to look for for Spawn issues 214, so 214 to 230. That whole run, they were super low print runs, and Todd McFarlane was doing all these homage covers. So I'm going to put a few images on the screen. Some of them I've got, some I don't. So 216, which is on there right now, has the Freak on the cover. That was only 12,600 print run. That book is pretty pricey. If you find that, now I'm not saying go out and buy these at what people are asking. With these books, I'm saying hunt these down at garage sales, swap meets, in the back issue bins. Get them for a few dollars if you can, because if you can, they're a gold mine. These books are really pricey, and they're going to go up because they're all Todd McFarlane covers, and they're all homage covers, and they're super low print runs, so obviously that equals collectible. So 216, 221, which I have right here. I actually found this one along with 249, and the next one I'm going to show you, I got all three of them for $5 Canadian at a swap meet a few weeks ago. So 221 is obviously an homage to Amazing Fantasy 15, and of them all, this is probably the most valuable one. So definitely try to find that. Or if you've got it in one of your boxes stuffed away somewhere, man, take care of it. That's only 15,800 print run, and that on eBay, if you want to go eBay prices, is $150, $200 range, so it's really pricey. 227, which is on the screen right now, that's an homage to Amazing Spider-Man 300. That was a 17,000 print run, and again, very, very collectible. 228 was 16,000, another good one to get. 225, which I have right here. This one was not homage, but this was when the election was going on in 2012. That one was 26,800 print run. It was a little higher because of the election, so that was not quite as valuable. And then 249, which I showed you, was 12,000, which was a really low print run. So all those spawns, like I say, between 214 and 230 are mostly homage covers by McFarlane. Man, hunt those down in back bins because they are really good to get. 200 to 250 technically are all low print runs, but anything before 214 and after 230, they're not. There's not a ton of them that are worth a lot, but they are definitely good ones to get if you can find them. And then I'm going to talk about. So now I want to talk about Elric the White Wolf real quick. And the reason I want to talk about this one, I got an image of cover B on the screen there. So it's written by Michael Moorcock. Well, not this comic, but originally the character was created by Michael Moorcock. He's a British writer. And the character was created, it was first published in 1961 in Science Fantasy number 47 called The Dreaming City. So that was, it's not a comic, it's a novel. And his first comic appearance was technically in Spirits number 1, drawn by Philippe Droulet, a French artist, in a French publication. That was in 1971. But a lot of people consider his first true comic appearance in Conan the Barbarian number 14. So Conan the Barbarian number 14 is it's a sword called Stormbringer. Now I want you to pay attention to that name. I'm going to get to that in a second. And number 15 was his second appearance, was the Green Empress of Melnibone, is where he's from. It's a two-part story that was written by Roy Thomas, but based on a Moorcock story. And those two books are very good books, and I highly recommend you try and track down Conan the Barbarian number 14 if you can. He's been in a ton of series or books since then. And what it is, it's kind of a tie. Think of it as a tie between Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and Game of Thrones. He's kind of falls somewhere in the middle there. But a ton of current characters in comics are based on this character, Elric. And it's a character that's been thrown around that they're going to do a movie on this guy for years. There's been rumors of a movie, but they never have actually got around to it. And Marvel just got the rights back to Conan the Barbarian, and that means that in January of next year they're going to be launching their new Conan the Barbarian comic again. And when they're launching that next year, you know, down the road, you can almost guarantee yourself that there will be a new Conan the Barbarian movie coming out at some point. So that is a really good one to get. But the reason I want you to think about this Conan the Barbarian number 14, don't overpay for it, but get it if you can, is I'm going to show an image here on the screen, and then I'm going to read something to you. So you're all well aware of this. And like I say, a lot of characters today are based on characters of this, or sorry, based on this Elric. So now I'm going to put an image of Elric sitting in his throne. So Stormbringer is a magic sword featured in a number of fantasy stories by the author Michael Moorcock. Created by the forces of chaos, it is described as a huge black sword covered with strange runes carved deep into its blade. It is wielded by the doomed albino Emperor Elric of Melniboné. Stormbringer makes its first appearance in 1961 novel, The Dreaming City. So the thing is, the powerful, enchanted Black Blade is a member of a demon race that takes on the form of a sword, and as such is an agent of chaos. Stormbringer's edge is capable of cutting through virtually any material not protected by a potent sorcery, and it can drink the soul from and thereby kill an unprotected human upon delivering any wound, even a scratch. Its most distinctive features are that it has a mind and will of its own, and it feeds upon the souls of those it kills. Elric loathes the sword, but is almost helpless without the strength and vitality it confers on him. So, I'm not saying Kate's based his character on, or that Null is linked to Elric, but I think he may have based his character on that character, like a lot of other people have. Warlock apparently is based on him slightly, and the fact that the hunger is never filled when he kills with that sword kind of reminds me a lot of Galactus. Always, he's devouring planets and never fulfills his hunger. So, and it was just kind of cool to think about. I highly recommend Conan the Barbarian number 14. That is technically his first comic appearance. It's a little pricey, but man, is that a good one to get. So anyways, now I found, like I say, I dug out my old comic book price guide from 1980, and I want to show you how thick this thing is. This first part is all ads. So really the book that's how thick it is. I don't know if you can see, it's like the size of my thumb. It's pretty small. I just want to give you a couple prices on some books. So when I first started collecting I started collecting in the 70s, but in 1980, the book price for Action Comics number 1 was $9,200. I mean, I didn't have $9,200 back then, but damn it, I wish I did. And Amazing Spider-Man 129, which I'm sure a lot of you want to know how much that one was, back in 1980-81 was $1.50. $1.50. Yep, I know. What can I say? Incredible Hulk 180. I gotta find that. I had a pay. Oh, there it is. Hang on. So Incredible Hulk 181 was in 1981. Was first appearance of Wolverine. $3.75 for a mint copy. Yep. And I didn't buy it back then. I'm an idiot. What can I say? Oh well. So, and back then, I remember when I was buying comics, I had a few people say, you know what, Jim, those comics are never going to be worth anything. I don't know why you're wasting your money on these comics. And I still get that today. And you know what, if you are only buying comics for money, you're in it for the wrong reason. Buy it because you love them. Buy it what you like. And over time, if you really love them and you take care of them, there's some of them that will go up in value. But you know what? You'll also have some memories of when you were a kid or when you were younger and the good times. So that's what it's about. The money thing is an added bonus. I try to point out books that I think will have some value over the years. But I also point out comics because I think they're great comics, have great art. I love first appearances. Owning a first appearance of, like I say, of Wolverine that I have. I don't own it because I'm hoping to get rich off it. I mean, it's just a great comic, and I love having a first appearance of a major character. Something about owning that. So, anyways, that is it for this week, folks. Happy hunting. I hope you were able to find some of those Spawn books. Think seriously about those Conan books. I really think Conan's going to start making a bigger appearance, and that Elric, I think I don't have any, there's nothing guaranteed in life. That's why they're called spec books. It's basically an educated guess. But that character has definitely been around for a long time. Those stories, if you haven't read the Elric stories, I mean, there's tons of books. They're so good. And so much of what you're watching now and reading now is based on a lot of that. So definitely a good one to get. Anyways, take care, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye for now.